All right, guys, good morning. Today is Tuesday, the 4th, and we're going to be working on ELA. We're going to be in our little book. So yesterday in our little book, we read Lighting Lives. Today, we're going to be doing our comprehension skill and strategy. So go ahead and open up your little book if you have it to page 220. Open up your little book if you have it in front of you to page 220. If you're going to be going through it online, you're going to select Miss Park's class, click read. You're going to find yesterday's story, which is going to be in our little book, Lighting Lives. And then from there, you can click on the next button all the way until you get to 220, or you can change it down here. And then click enter.
Ask and answer questions. Asking yourself questions helps you think about information in the selection. You can ask questions before, during, and after you read. Find text evidence. As I read page 216 of Lighting Lives, I ask myself, what is solar power? I will reread to find the answer to this question. As she grew, Debbie realized she wanted to learn more about solar power. Solar power is electricity that comes from the sun. Solar panels are put on the roof of a building. The sunlight hits these panels and turns the sunlight into electricity. I read that solar power is electricity that comes from the sun. From this, I understand that solar panels use energy from the sun. Author's purpose. Authors write to answer, explain, or describe. Find text evidence. When I read page 216 of Lighting Lives, I learned how Debbie Tiwa got the idea to help others. I think this is a clue to the author's purpose. Graphic organizer. Clue. Author tells how Debbie Tiwa got the idea to help others.
And then we do have that page in our Your Turn if you guys are interested in working on that.
Narrative nonfiction.
I'm on the next page now.
Lighting Lives is a narrative nonfiction. A narrative nonfiction tells a story about a person by a narrator. Can have text features. Find text evidence. I can use what I read to tell that Lighting Lives is narrative nonfiction. A narrator tells about a real person, Debbie Tiwa. Text features. Photos show something in the text or give more information about a topic. Captions give information about the photo. Synonyms. Synonyms are words that have almost the same meaning. Big and large are synonyms. Find text evidence. I read that Debbie insists that families learn about how solar power can help them, and they are happy to do what she demands. Insists and demands are synonyms. They both mean asks for something in a strong or firm way. Debbie believes deeply in her work and insists that families learn about how solar power can help them. They are happy to do what she demands.
Awesome. Now what we're going to do is we're going to turn to page 224 and 225. This is a little boy and his name is Timothy. He is a second grader, or he was a second grader when he wrote this. His teacher has asked him the question, would you like to have Debbie Tiwa's job? Tell why or why not. So Timothy does want to have the job, and he's going to tell us why. So he's going to start with an opinion. I would like to have Debbie Tiwa's job. He includes his opinion using his voice at the beginning. Then he puts supporting details. Why? He includes facts from the text and reasons to support his opinion. So why does he want to have her job? Because he likes to help people, because because he likes to help people, and Debbie helps people by giving them solar energy because they don't have electricity. And then also he uses correct grammar. For example, if there's something about the future, like a job is something that you guys are going to have in the future. So he uses the word will. I will have. Someday I will have a helpful job like Debbie's. And then he also has a conclusion. He adds a concluding sentence that sums up his opinion. So let's go ahead and read this.
I would like to have Debbie Tiwa's job because I like to help people, and Debbie helps people have better lives. She gets solar energy for people who do not have electricity. Debbie's job is to deliver power from the sun. It does not pollute. I like to travel, and Debbie gets to meet many different families in Arizona and New Mexico. Someday, I will have a helpful job like Debbie's. I think it will be powerful.
All right. So the next thing that we're going to be doing, guys, is we're going to be working on your turn practice workbook. So let's go ahead and everyone take out your turn practice workbook. If you don't have your turn practice workbook, go to classwork, scroll to ELA, and then you're going to find it right here, your turn workbook pages. So let's put in the chat. If you're going to be using Cami, then put a K in the chat. And if you're going to be using your workbook that you have, you're going to put a W in the chat. So what are you going to be using? K, Cami, or W, your actual workbook? Awesome. Some of you guys are going to be using your workbook. Some of you guys are using your using Cami. Very good. Well, if you have your workbook, take it up, turn to page 123. If you're using Cami, you should have logged in yesterday and it should have saved your space. So you just need to go to the next page. If for some reason it's not, like mine, remember a trick is down here, you can just type in the number, but remember, it's not going to take you to the exact page. So you're still going to have to scroll down a little bit. Scroll down to get to page 123, and it'll say them on the corners. So here we go. Helping out in a community. So if you're using Cami, you can actually type in page 132. It's going to be on page 132. All right. Let's have a refresher on how to do our fluency reading now, okay? In order to do your fluency reading, you need to open up one more thing. You need to open up your fluency reading scores in Google Classroom. So everybody go back to Google Classroom, and then right above your turn, go to fluency reading scores. You can scroll down or you can click view assignment. When you click view assignment, your assignment will be there. I know obviously mine's not doing that because I'm in a teacher account, but right here, I need everyone to open up their fluency scores right now. I'm going to be looking on GoGuardian to make sure you have that open. Once you have that open, you need to practice scrolling. There's a gray bar down here you can use, and you need to scroll all the way to Unit 3, Week 3, because that's what we're on today, Unit 3, Week 3. So we're on segment O. I'm going to give everyone a second to do that while I log into GoGuardian. All right, so all of you guys should now be on your fluency scores. We're on section O. I know some of you guys were having trouble getting there, so you can just watch for now, and then later on you guys can do this on your own since it's recorded, so you can watch the directions. Okay. All right, we're gonna do our first reading. I'm gonna read first for a minute. I'm going to underline words that I get wrong. And then we're going to count how many words we read and then subtract our errors. All right. So let me go ahead and put my 1 minute timer on. All right, there we go. Doug Long has been riding bikes for a long time. When he was 16, he took us I don't know the words, so I'm going to underline it. He rode his bike trip. He rode his bike alone across the United States. That's a big journey for a young man. Now, when Doug rides, it may be with a group of children. Doug works with a I don't know the words, so I'm going to underline it. Group. The group sets up bike rides for city kids. It gives the children time to I don't know the words, so I'm going to underline it, and enjoy the world around them. Doug helps them explore nature. Doug brings his own bike and I don't know the words, so I'm going to underline it, for a bike trip. The children get bikes to ride and helmets to wear. Then they go to the park or a nature area. Oh, it didn't go off. Okay, let's just say that I got here. Okay, so how many words did I read? 93 would be the. So the beginning of the line is 93, then I'm going to count on. So 93, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, 100, 101, 102. Now, how many words did I mess up on? 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, I know that 102 minus 2 equals 100. And so if I took away 2 from 4, then I have 2 left. So 100 minus 2 would equal 98. So that's how many I read. That's not how many you read. So now you guys are going to do it. Once you have your number, there it goes. Then what you're going to do is you're going to write it in that first box, and then you're going to click out of the box to save your work. All right, guys, are you ready? You guys are going to do your reading now. On your mark, get set, go. Time. All right. If you need help, I will go ahead and help you now. Put in the chat if you need help. If not, go ahead and just record. All right, Danica, go ahead and unmute. What line did you stop at? Danica, I think your headphones are not working again.
I stopped at 82 on bike trip.
Bike trip. All right, so Doug would be 82. So we're going to read on. 82, 83, 84, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89, 90, 91, 92. So Danica, you read 92 words. And then how many mistakes did you make?
0.
So then you read 92 words correct. So then now you need to go to your fluency scores and then you need to write it here, 92. All right, while you guys are finishing up that, I'm gonna do our second read now. I'm gonna work on our second read with you guys. Ready? Okay, so one more person needs help. What line did you stop at, Russell?
At area
I know, but what line, what number line did you stop at?
104.
Okay, so 104 would be they, 105, 106, 107, 108, 109, 110, 111, 112. So you read 112 words. How many mistakes did you make, Russell?
0.
So then you read 112. So you would write 112 here. Yes, if you finish the first page, you can move on to the second one. So I'm going to show you guys that right now. Are you guys ready? I'm going to read first. Ready? I'm going to read. Doug Long has been riding bikes for a long time. When he was 16, he took a solo bike trip. He rode his bike alone across the United States. That's a big journey for a young man. Now, when Doug rides, it may be with a group of children. Doug works with a volunteer group. The group sets up bike rides for every kid, for city kids. It gives the children time to, I forgot the word again, so I'm going to cross it out, and enjoy the world around them. Doug helps them explore nature. Doug brings his own bike and helmet for a bike trip. The children get bikes to ride and helmets to wear. Then they go to a park or a nature area. Now I'm going to read the next page. On one trip, the children saw a cat. I don't know the words. I'm going to skip it. They weren't sure if it was safe to touch it. Doug picked it up. He showed it to the children. Once they were sure, I don't know the word, it was harmless, they all took turns holding it. All right, so I stopped at holding it right here. So 146 is was, 147, 148, 149, 150, 151, 152, 153. So yes, you are able to go to the next page if you finish reading. You're going to count how many words you messed up on. I messed up on 3 words. So that's easy. 153 minus 3 equals 150. Then what you're going to do is you're going to go to your fluency score reading, type in your score, and then click out of the box to save your work. All right, guys? All right, you guys are going to do your reading now. This is your second read. Yes, Danica, you can unmute.
I don't know where to go on the page area to type in my things. First I clicked on one, but it wasn't the right one.
Okay, so scroll up. It looks like you might be in the wrong place. So you need to go to, oh wait, it's right there. Fluency reading score Tuesdays. Click on your name. And then you need to scroll all the way to the end. There you go. All right. Let's go ahead and do our final read. And then after our final read, we're going to answer the 3. I'm going to read it all the way through, and then we're going to answer the 3 questions. Are you guys ready? Oh, it looks like someone just joined us. Okay, I'll do it after. Are you guys ready? On your mark, get set, go. Time. All right, guys, go ahead and now record your work. And then you're going to put it in your fluency score. And then you're also going to put it on the bottom here. All right. While you guys are doing that, I'm going to read through the story again, starting from the beginning. I'm going to read fluently so that you guys can hear and understand the story. Helping out in the community. Doug Long has been riding bikes for a long time. When he was 16, he took a solo bike trip. He rode his bike alone across the United States. That's a big journey for a young man. Now, when Doug rides, it may be with a group of children. Doug works with a volunteer group. The group sets up bike rides for city kids. It gives the children time to appreciate and enjoy the world around them. Doug helps them explore nature. Doug brings his own bike and helmet for a bike trip. The children get bikes to ride and helmets to wear. Then they go to a park or nature area. So here's a picture of Doug Long, and he helps children learn more about nature. And here are all these kids. On one trip, the children saw a caterpillar. They weren't sure if it was safe to touch. Doug picked it up. He showed it to the children. Once they were certain it was harmless, they all took turns holding it. Between bike trips, the children can learn how to fix bikes. They can work at a bike workshop. This earns them points. They can use the points to get a bike of their own. Doug Long likes to ride his bike, and he likes to help out. He has made his community a better place. Now, why did the author want you to know about Doug Long when Doug was 16? Because this is all about how Doug uses his love for bike riding, for riding bikes, to help his community. So why did the author want you to know about Doug Long when Doug was 16? So what else does he do? He loves to ride bikes, and he took a solo bike trip all across the US by himself. And that's a really big journey for someone who's very young. So it shows that he is very determined. He was determined and loved bikes. He loved to ride bikes ever since he was young. Now, what did the author want you to know about Doug's work with a volunteer group? What did he do? Let's reread. The volunteer group set up bike rides for city kids. It gives the children time to appreciate and enjoy the world around them. Doug helps them explore nature. So what did the author want you to know about Doug's work with a volunteer group? He helps kids explore nature by going on bike rides with them. So if you're a fluent writer, you can write more to make this sentence more detailed. I'll put it in the chat. So number one, he was determined and loved bikes. Number two, he helps kids explore nature. Now you can write more, because remember, we want to write 7-up sentences, which means that there are 7 words or more. This one only has 5. The first one only has 6. So for the first one, you could put, the author wants you to know that Doug was determined and loved to ride bikes when he was 16. Number 2, you could say that Doug worked with a volunteer group giving bike rides to kids, and by doing so, helping them explore nature. Last question before we move on to our 5 things. What is the author's purpose for writing this passage? Because Doug Long loves to ride bikes, and he uses his love for riding bikes, his passion, to help his community. Who is his community? These kids who are in the city who might not have bikes, and he gives them access to ride bikes around the city. And then also they are able to explore nature, they get out of their homes, and then even give them jobs in bike shops, and they can earn points for when they work so that they can get their very own bike. So what is the author's purpose for writing this passage? Using our passions to help others. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's going to be a 6-sentence one. You can say the author's purpose is to tell us to use our passions to help our communities. Or you can even just write using our passions to help our communities. Using our passions to help our communities, and that would be a 7-up sentence. All right, guys, we have about 25 minutes in class. And that should be more than enough time for you guys to work on your 5 things on your own. Now, if you need help with your 5 things, you can rewatch yesterday's YouTube video to work on your 5 things. You need to take your practice spelling test, practice vocabulary test, grammar game, mechanics game, and then you need to make sure you complete your selfie writing by the end of the week. All right, guys. So if you are done with answering questions 1, 2, and 3, you are free to hang up. You guys can unmute and say, Ms. Park, I'm done. I'm going to leave this soon. You guys are going to work on your 5 things. After you're done with your 5 things, you guys are going to do PE. And then at 10:15, everyone is going to come back for math. So I will see you guys all for math time.